welcome to this webinar dedicated to the promotion of the Via SELINUNTINA, Western Sicily, Italy. My name is Nadia Pasquale. I'm a marketing and PR professional, and I will conduct today's webinar. The webinar has been organized by Commerciale Turismo Italia on behalf of CISP within the CrossDev project. Commerciale Turismo Italia is an Italian company that since 2008 has been offering B2B, business-to-business marketing services to promote tourism destinations, facilities and projects, air carriers and territorial systems to professionals of the tourism industry. The webinar is an initiative of CISP, Comitato Internazionale per lo Sviluppo dei Popoli, International Committee for the Development of Peoples, that is the leader or partner of a consortium of private and public bodies participating to the implementation of the CrossDev project. The CrossDev project stands for Cultural Roots for Sustainable Social Economic Development in the Mediterranean. Let me share the presentation. So, just a moment. The CrossDev project partners are the CISP, Comitato Internazionale per lo Sviluppo dei Popoli, that is the leading partner. Società Cooperative Culture Italy, Jordan University of Science and Technology, Jordan, Association for the Protection of Jabal Musa in Lebanon, the Royal Marine Conservation Society of Jordan, and the Palestinian Heritage Trail in Palestine, and the Italian Ministry of Culture. Let's see. The main objective is to contribute to the development in the Mediterranean area through strengthening and enhancing sustainable tourism practices, emphasizing common heritage and resources in less known tourism destinations. The specific objectives are to increase the attractiveness of less known tourism destinations in the Mediterranean area, diversifying the tourism offer, and develop and market new sustainable tourist products. The destinations involved are the ancient Via SELINUNTINA, to which today's webinar is dedicated, an ancient road in southeastern Sicily, Italy, connected to Phoenicians and Iter-viticultural routes. The other destinations are the Jabal Musa Biosphere Reserve, Adonis Valley Roman route in Jabal Musa, connected to Phoenicians route in Lebanon, Palestinian Heritage Trail in the West Bank, Palestine, Aila Islamic City and its surroundings, ancient Aqaba, Jordan, Qais historical Roman and Islamic Ottoman city at the opposite ends of the Jordan Trail in Jordan. There is a number of achievements of the project, such as 11 itineraries with different themes, 56 attractions mapped. It improved and increased the attractiveness of archaeological, cultural, historical, natural, and traditional sites. It developed a very interesting and useful platform, territorial platform, www.hiddenmediterranean.net, where cultures meet, which includes the presentation of all destinations, a list of all operators, accommodation, tourism facilities, everything you may need to sell these destinations and to know them better. So I invite you to open it and browse through it. The project also developed one project trailer and 5 teasers of each destination, which you can see on the YouTube channel of CISP. You will receive the link, of course. And it also produced over 40 local visibility and promotional initiatives. It actively involved more than 5,000 people, including media, local tour operators, universities, schools, and several institutions. So it's a really interesting project. Now let's move over. I want to let you know that two companies among all participating tour operators and travel agents will be selected at the end of this series of 5 webinars to attend fun trips to each destination. So I invite you to follow the whole series of webinars to get to know the destinations and have a chance to participate in these fun trips. Today's webinar is dedicated to Via Selinuntina, an ancient Greek road in Southern Sicily. The themes of today's webinar are food and wine tourism and cultural tourism. Before I introduce today's speaker, I'd like to share with you a 2-minute video of Selinunte presenting this destination. Very beautiful video and very beautiful place. Now let me introduce today's speakers. We have Emanuela Panche, President of Itervitis Cultural Roots, Giuseppe Cacioppo, Deputy Mayor of Sambuca di Sicilia, Valentina Mangiarancina, owner of Villa Jadel accommodation in Menfi, and Vincenzo Caldarera, owner of B&B Bed and Breakfast Tempio di Hera. Before I let our speakers present today's destination, just let me remind you that we would like to hear from you as well, of course, and you are kindly invited to ask questions, share your thoughts or your comments at any time during the webinar. You may use the chat and write your questions in the chat, or you can participate just click the raise your hand button on the Zoom screen to participate and ask your questions. If you want to participate and ask your questions directly, of course, you have to authorize the invitation to speak to be able to participate. So now let me introduce Emanuela Panke, President of Itervites. Emanuela, please.
Thank you, Nadia. I'm just sharing a map of the area. Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you to CISP for this this meeting, and thank you for all the tour operators for being with us. I just would like to introduce the area in general, because we're going to have some operators, stakeholders working in the different cities that are involved in our project. We were talking about the Via SELINUNTINA. Via SELINUNTINA is the name of an ancient Greek route that's connected Siracusa to Agrigento. So it was an ancient, let's say, motorway, and then it has been improved with Romans during Roman period, and arrived to Lilibeo, the actual city of Marsala, the well-known as Marsala. We picked just a part of the Via SELINUNTINA to, let's say, create some tourist package and to develop and promote a form of sustainable tourism connecting the seaside to the countryside, and to be able to discover some less known touristic destination. Sicily is very famous, and during the last season it was a very successful destination at an international level, because in Sicily you can find of course good food. We were talking about wine and food tourism. You can find culture, environment, but let's say that some of the destinations are overcrowded. We picked this area and we selected some cities in this area to offer to the tourists something new. Of course, the area of Selinunte, because you can see where we put some white rose, the exact part of the Via SELINUNTINA part that we are talking about. Selinunte is a very famous archaeological site. It's the largest archaeological site in the Mediterranean, but it's too often just used as a stop for the daily excursion. So from Selinunte, you can visit some, I think somebody opened the microphone. And from Selinunte, you have many options to visit the countryside and other coastal destination. In particular, we are talking about Sambuca di Sicilia. We will see with Giuseppe Cacioppo a little bit more the rich heritage of Sambuca di Sicilia. Menfi, another amazing coastal village that is connected with Sciacca, and then we have Gibellina and of course Castelvetrano, that is the municipality connected to Selinunte. I think that this is a very strategic destination, because as you can see from the map, you have two main airports in proximity. You have Palermo is 1 hour, and Trapani is 45 minutes. So from Palermo you have two options. You have motorway and another amazing countryside route, the 624. So also in a matter of transportation, it's very interesting. And as you saw from the video, across the video, you can offer just a very good and various panel of experiences, because you have, of course, wine experiences, oil experiences, you have cheese experiences, talking about food, and then you have archaeological sites, but also contemporary art sites, because you have the Gibellina, Cretto di Burri area, you have the contemporary art foundation in Gibellina, and the other very interesting part is the fact that you have an heterogeneous offer of guest house, hotels, B&B that represent a good opportunity to offer this destination not only as a summer destination, but destination for also autumn and spring, because you're gonna find out something interesting to do all over the year, for short break, but also long break. So I think that maybe it would be better to give the floor to Giuseppe, and before Giuseppe show a short video about Sambuca di Sicilia, and then go in particular to the different destination we picked along the Via Selinuntina to create our products. And then I'm available for any further question concerning the experience and tourism structure that you can find in the area.
Thank you, Emanuela. And let's see the video of Sambuca di Sicilia.
Before the sun paints the fields with light, the moment the landscape is unveiled, an ancient memory awakens. In the place where man and memory chase each other and play hide and seek, the tracks reveal the way. The reconstructed stones intertwine with the vines. Take a walk and lose yourself in the alleyways and inside the courtyards, between the arms that welcome guests, an open-door performance. Custodians of the earth and protector of its treasures, preserve the memory and beauty of a rediscovered land. Ancient mountain walls to the surrounding valleys. Sambuca di Sicilia, eternal beauty.
Okay, thank you for this video. I will now give the floor to Giuseppe Cacioppo, Deputy Mayor of Sambuca di Sicilia.
I don't see him online. Maybe issues with the connection.
Okay, we will wait a minute for.
Meanwhile, I can say that Sambuca di Sicilia became very famous during the last 3 years, and is famous on international level because they launched this campaign selling the houses from the ancient city center at €1. So that allowed to increase the presence of foreign tourists and also people that move from abroad, that from the United States and from all over the world, Turkey and Israel, and they bought these places in the ancient city center, and they restored these houses that were abandoned by the inhabitants. So something that is also very interesting from Sambuca now, that you can easily find in Sambuca an international audience, an international environments and atmosphere all over the village and during all the year. So, and they also have a good offer in terms of restaurants and wineries. Most of one of the most famous Sicilian winery has a big winery in Sambuca that it's Planeta, and close by the Rancho Lake that you saw in the video. And then from Sambuca, you can easily go to all the area that it's also very interesting, that was a victim from the earthquake in 1968. Yeah, so you have this ancient village all along the Belice Valley. You are at 15 minutes from Santa Margherita Belice, that is the place where you can find the house of the Gattopardo, the famous novel from Tomasi di Lampedusa. And this area is also known as Terre del Gattopardo. So because all over these villages, the villages are mentioned in the novel. I cannot see Giuseppe online. Maybe we can switch to Valentina.
Is Valentina connected?
One moment, please. 1 minute, okay?
Okay, we will
Thank
soon
you.
give floor to Valentina Mangiarancina. She's the owner of Villa Jadel, an accommodation facility in Memphis. In the meanwhile, I would like to answer the first question that was asked, and it is about the sharing of materials and the contents of this webinar. After the webinar, of course, you will receive all materials, PowerPoint presentations, links, and all information. So no worries about that. We will send you everything by email. And I remind you that, of course, you can ask questions using the chat or by raising your hand, and we will give you send you an invitation to speak if you want to participate. So I invite you to actively participate. We would like to hear your voice, your questions. We have over 20 tour operators and travel agencies joining today from different European countries: Italy, Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands, the UK, Norway, Belgium, France. We have almost all of Europe connected today. So don't be shy. If you have any questions, just participate and ask. Okay, I can see Valentina Mangiarancina is ready, so I give.
I'm ready, okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the bad pronunciation of my English. I hope they make myself understood better. Let me introduce myself. My name is Valentina Mangiarancina. I am the president of the Tourism Council of the Municipality of Memphis. And I also take care of the management of a hotel here in Memphis. The name Villa Jadel. Now, I am going to show you some slides that I have prepared for you, okay? Okay, is the slide. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay. The territory and its service. Memphis and its territorial location in Sicily is a center provincia, non so come si dice in inglese, Trapani, Agrigento, Palermo. There is the city, Central City, Memphis, and the city and its territory. The activities that can be carried out in the area with its service it's possible go to horse. Okay. And hang gliding and small plane excursions. Okay. The visit to the oil mills and testing of the local oil with the possibility of having the experience of everything. Okay. The cycle excursion in the large cycle, pet and the possibility of trekking, immersed in the nature and the immersed nature reserves. Okay. This is my hotel, my structure in the city. Okay. The name is Village Hotel. There are some tourist facilities present is Torre Bonera, is Casa Mirabile, Casina Mireggia, Lo Stoccatello, il Vigneto and La Foresteria. We hope to have you in a few minutes and you understand the great potential that in the area offers. Thank you so much.
Valentina, there's a question. Somebody's asking which airport is the closest to this area?
Okay.
Valentina, if you want, I can help you to answer the question in
and
English.
also another question is about cycling routes, if there are any cycling routes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I can ask to this. I can answer to this to the question if you agree, Valentina, in English. Maybe.
Puoi tradurre per favore, Emanuela?
No, rispondo io alle domande, non ti preoccupare.
Ok,
okay.
Grazie.
So concerning the first question, as I mentioned before, you have Palermo Airport and you have Trapani Airport. So to Trapani, you have mostly low cost coming from UK, from all over Europe, and also during a winter season and spring season. And then you have Palermo, and Palermo is from Memphis is 1 hour, 10 minutes, something like that. But you have subway, you have the motorway, and then from Trapani is 45 minutes, something. So it depends. The traffic jam is about 45 minutes. So both are suitable for Memphis. Then I don't suggest Catania Airport, even if Catania has more flights, because it's far away, it's 3 hours. So you have both Trapani and Palermo. Concerning the cycling route, you have a very interesting cycling route from Memphis to Sciacca. So it's possible. Valentina, puoi ricondividere il tuo PowerPoint? It's possible to rent a bicycle from Memphis and go to Sciacca. It's about 20 kilometers, and it's a beautiful cycling route. Vai su quella della pista ciclabile. It's a beautiful cycling route because it's going through vineyards, first of all. So it's absolutely a great atmosphere. And then you're going all along the seaside. And you have option to have wine tasting and winery visit, and take the bicycle from the winery, or of course even better have this bicycle tour and then have the wine tasting the winery, because you have this very nice winery that's called Mandra Rossa that is based on the cycling route. So I think on the point of view of sport, you can do hiking. It's about 40 minutes from Menfi. You have some interesting, it's between Menfi and Sambuca, some interesting hiking trail. And then from Menfi, you have the bicycle trail. And as you saw from Valentina presentation, you also have horse riding and the possibility also to use the paragliding.
And Emanuela, another question is about local contacts, local partners. As I mentioned before, the platform hiddenmediterranean.net has a list of local operators, accommodation, and tourism facilities, but maybe you can add something.
Yeah, if you have any specific question about local partner looking for transportation and looking for other kind of tourist service, you can just send a specific question, and we're gonna provide all the name of contacts of the stakeholders related to our project. Of course, you can find it also in the platform, but if you have any specific question, I don't know, a luxury resort or maybe a small guest house, or if you're looking for olive oil tasting, of course, I tell you because maybe you already know, but since I received this question, I think 2 days ago, the olive oil experience is related to a specific season. The wine experience, you can do it all over the year, but it depends. Of course, it would be nice during the summer season to come for the harvesting, to the beginning of autumn to come for the to taste the new wines. For in November you have the olive harvesting, and you can taste the very young and tasty oil from Nocellara del Belice. So we are trying to offer experience related to the different season mostly. But please send us the question and which kind of service you're looking for. I will put in directly in direct connection to the to the providers. We don't have any tour operator working on site. It would be like a kind of intermediation. You can work directly with our stakeholders, the stakeholders that follow our training during CrossDev project, and they are working following some specific sustainable tourism related rules and prescription.
Okay, before I introduce the next question, I would like to remind, of course, that all participants are invited to participate, ask questions, and if they have any experience in the destination, they can share their experience, of course. The next question is about accommodation. What kind of accommodation is available along this route and these cities in specific?
Ok, ma Valentina, mi metti la foto del tuo albergo? As you can see, and he have some kind of eco hotel, as Valentina hotel. Valentina's hotel is beautiful, and it's very interesting because it's as a walking distance from the beach, but it's an eco hotel. But you also have some kind of a resort, small resort, maximum 12, 13 rooms in the countryside. Vai sulla prossima, and you can find this one is also to the close by the seaside, and la prossima. And then you have some in the countryside, such as Casa Mirabile in the middle of vineyards, and the Casina Mireggia. Then you have some la prossima luxury accommodation. You have Casa Planeta is a luxury.
Questo no, è un agriturismo, quindi possono fare esperienze legate anche agli animali.
So this one is a rural tourism. You have many rural tourism. Then you have a luxury resort, and something else. You are half an hour from a golf club that is available and open all over the year, and connected to the luxury resort. So you can switch from the guest house. This is La Foresteria, the luxury resort that I mentioned before, related to Planeta Estate. And then you have some small guest houses just on the beach. You have hundreds of them. You can go to the rural tourism. You have some beautiful hotel like a Villa Jadel that you saw before, or you have some small resort in the countryside. So I think it's a huge range of accommodation offer.
Of all kinds. Thank you very much. Next question is about local guides. Are there any local guides available, like in different languages?
Yeah, you have local guides. The only thing, you have very local guides. So you, if you want the local guides for Menfi, let's say this seaside area, you have to pick from Menfi. Yeah, then you have guides in Sambuca, and then you have guides in Gibellina. You don't have skilled guides for all the area. Then you can have the tour leader, but not really the guides. Another important thing, you have many guides that are skilled for archaeological tourists, because of course you have Selinunte, but you have very close also Segesta. And in Selinunte, you have the guides that provided by the manager of the destination, that it's Cop Culture. And the other interesting thing, you can have some guides only focused on wine and agricultural topics, so that can bring you and visit some cheese producer or wine producer, but still about the local agriculture, because beyond the wine and olive, you also have local protected species of artichoke and other products, and once again, something that you can find in different seasons. So it's also a destination to propose twice per year, because they can find different things. We have people coming from this summer. I have to say, it was the summer of people from Belgium and France, and they are coming back also in autumn to discover the agricultural side of the destination, because they were during summer on the coastal side.
Great. You were mentioning, Emanuela, wine tasting, olive oil tasting, and different kinds of accommodation. One question is about other kinds of restaurants and like local typical restaurants. Are there any available in this area?
But in this area, I think you can have from the seaside, you have a fish restaurant, because also you can also have another interesting experience is the fishing experience. So from the small harbor of Menfi, you can go with fishermen catching fish and eating fish that you catch, and then this is an experience you can do from Menfi. And then of course in the seaside you have a restaurant offering fish cuisine. On the countryside you have all kind of local products, really very well represented by the local chefs, but also the option to have meals in wineries. We mentioned Planeta, Mandra Rossa, Hermes. You have quite an amount of wineries that also offer Di Giovanna catering experience. And another interesting thing, that it's a very famous area for the pastry chef, for the kind of almond paste cakes. And in Sambuca you can find this special cake that you saw in the movie, that is the Mine di Virgine, and you have a kind of experience how to learn to prepare local pastries.
Emanuela,
dimmi.
Vorrei aggiungere che per adesso la cittadina si prepara per un grande evento relativo al carciofo spinoso, di cui noi siamo molto cultori di questo prodotto locale.
As I mentioned before, she's talking about this special variety of artichoke. This is from Memphis, and every year in autumn, so it's going to be in a few weeks, they organize a big event on preparing some special recipes based on artichoke. And it's interesting because they develop this culture of events related to the local products that allow to bring tourists all over the year, because they have Inicon for wine in June. Then I have another big event related to wine in September. So you don't only have all the experience and attractors from the area, you also have a rich calendar of events all over the year that can be also an option for our clients.
Somebody is asking, in fact, if October and November restaurants are open regularly, and if the weather is good in October and November.
Yeah, you can have some sun bath and swim until, let's say, the end of 20th of November. Of course, it's not July, but it's absolutely possible. We were there with a group last year at the end of November, and we were on the beach. Yes, of course, you can find open restaurant and open hotels. You, of course, not all the restaurants on the beach side are open, but most part are open, because let's say that the culture changed. Sicily until a few years ago, it was just the summer season. Now you can find all the services also during the autumn. Right. It's even better to go for out of the summer season.
Yeah. And Johan is asking if it would be possible to have a list of local partners in the southwestern part around Syracuse area. They are looking for development of quality point of interest for their app that their customers are using for their cycling trips. They mention any types of points of interest, such as bakeries, cheese and wine producers, historical sites, and so on.
I can provide for Via SELINUNTINA. For Syracuse, I don't have available information for now, because we focused the project on Via SELINUNTINA area. So we collected, and we can guarantee about the quality level only on this on the list of selected producer and providers from Via SELINUNTINA. So all is asking, I can provide for Via SELINUNTINA, cycle, bicycle, whatever he needs for the application.
Okay. Before we get to the end of this webinar, I would like to remind all participating tour operators and travel agents that they will have a chance to attend a farm trip to the destinations that will be presented during this series of 5 webinars. This is the first of the series, but there will be 4 more webinars. So I invite you to follow all of them and have a chance to visit these destinations with them as hosts, guests of a farm trip.
I see that Giuseppe is with us now. Maybe he wants to add some words.
Yes, Giuseppe Cacioppo, Deputy Mayor of Sambuca di Sicilia, maybe wants to speak. Giuseppe vuole intervenire?
Mi sentite tanto? Noi oggi, buongiorno a tutti, noi oggi abbiamo difficoltà di rete, quindi non so per quanto tempo possiamo stare insieme. Spero di ottimizzare i tempi, perché c'è il rischio che ci lasciano un momento un po' a metà strada, come è successo prima.
Non ti preoccupare Giuseppe, non ti preoccupare Giuseppe, abbiamo approfittato e di Sambuca già ho parlato io, non so se vuoi solo aggiungere qualche parola sul eventi futuri, qualche motivazione per andare a Sambuca. Why visit Sambuca di Sicilia? Just a sentence, una frase.
Vabbè, io immaginiamo noi, sì, ho ascoltato gli interventi, anche quello di Memphis, sono territori abbastanza completi, dove messi insieme l'uno con l'altro riescono a interagire bene, tra l'altro di ottime collaborazioni anche storiche tra le amministrazioni, tra la parte attiva del territorio stesso. Ma a Sambuca ci sta bene, c'è una buona tradizione culturale, abbiamo un teatro con un'attività anche importante, con un bel cartellone, ci sono tante cantine come sono a Menfi, ci sono tantissimi posti dove soggiornare. Negli ultimi 6-7 anni sono nati circa 25 B&B, a parte un hotel a 4 stelle con piscina poco a 2 chilometri dal centro abitato, anche meno in verità. La cucina è ottima, anche tu hai accennato alle mine di Virgine, questo dolce tipico del territorio che negli ultimi anni è stato abbastanza sdoganato, quindi riesce a diventare un dolce identitario di Sambuca stessa. Se devi tradurre,
okay, fammi tradurre. Okay, it just, of course, is telling that the two areas, Sambuca di Sicilia and Menfi, the two areas that together are part of Via Selinuntina, are a bit complementary, because in one case we are on the seaside, and the other side we are on the other case in Sambuca we are in the countryside, so more related to culture and agriculture. Is a very dynamic village, and I want to mention that they have a theater that is such an incredible thing in a small village. They have an independent theater in a small village on the heart of Sicily, and during the last years they created the 25 bed and breakfasts, and they have 1 4-star hotel. They have many restaurants, and of course, you mentioned a typical pastry that I mentioned before, the Mine di Virgine, and then have many wineries hosting people for wine experience, and they have 2 cheese producers hosting for cheese experience, how to produce ricotta, how to produce all the local cheeses. You can spend 2 hours with the producer and then have a kind of branch on the lake.
Thank you for this information. Emanuela, there's one more question. They're asking for if it is possible to have a list of events, like a full list of events, if there are like any specific events that are worth organizing a trip to this area.
Okay, so I think that after the webinar, we're gonna resume all the answer in a Word document. We're gonna provide the list of providers and local stakeholders, and then also as well a calendar with all the events from Memphis, Sambuca, and all the areas, so divided by season.
Okay, very good. And I also remind all participants that they will receive the recording of this webinar and all the materials that were presented today. I invite tour operators and travel agents to participate, ask questions if they have any specific need, any question. And I also remind them that, of course, they will have a chance to attend a farm trip and discover this destination for themselves and meet all local partners. So follow us during this series of webinars and to have a chance of participating in the farm trips, educational trips. If there aren't any questions, I would like to thank everybody for attending, thank our speakers, and remind you that you can find more information on the platform hiddenmediterranean.net, and of course you will receive all information, materials, and lists that you requested. So thank you everybody. I will look forward to meeting you all at the next webinar. And let me close by sharing a video of the thank you of the, sorry, I was reading a message of thank you. Share a video of general presentation of the Cross-Step project, including an overview of all destinations. Thank you very much and see you soon back.
Grazie.
Have a good day.
Arrivederci, grazie.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci.
I was once the known world. I harbored the life of man, from the borders of the eastern kingdoms to the last Spanish land. Every coast I touch is a story, and the stories I sing belong to you. I am the guardian of rich trade and ancient traditions. I am the guide of the first travelers, the cradle of empires and knowledge. I am the muse. I have inspired mythologies and religions, united people in fruitful exchange. I preserve the rituals of dancers, the legends of fishermen, the folklore of musicians. I am witness to the greatest love stories, and when a feeling is born on my waves, it spreads throughout time. I am the secrets. I have fostered the desire to explore for millennia, and still today the path is the same. No need to introduce me. You know me well. You have already traveled my routes. But believe me, there is still much to discover along the lands I brush past. I am the sense. I am the smile of the guardian and the aroma of the bread. You find me from Beit Mirsim to Batir, along the wonders of the Palestinian Heritage Trail. I am the hospitality that dwells on the Via SELINUNTINA, in the sharp scent of cinnamon and the sweet fragrance of the vineyard. My winds grace the Yarmouk Reserve and the paths of the Jabal Musa biosphere, where the mountains still retain my scent. I am history. I am the Roman theater in the heart of Jordan and the Arab quarter in Sicily. I am the union and the bond. I am Kais and I am Sambuca. I protect the memory of man in the archaeology of Selinunte, in the castles and in the port of Aqaba, where my kingdom meets that of other seas. I am the journey. I am the primal emotion, the perfect need. I am the means to find, but without seeking. I am the corner of the world where the sun and the moon converge. I am the heritage of man and the pattern of freedom. I am one immense place, and I am many stories. I will also be yours. I am the Mediterranean.